everyone. I'm here to show you how to make a lovely tree in this simple but very well explained tutorial. Step 1 is to grab your maker pen. There's two ways to grab it. There's to pull it off your back or to go into your watch and into your backpack and click call on maker pen or use. So once you have your maker pen, you're going to go into your maker pen and you're going to grab, let's see, you're going to grab tube and you're going to make it size 0.25, and that's in your tube radius, alright, tube radius meters, that's where you grab it. Make sure it's 225, and it should be this size, but mine's a circle. I can show you, I'll tell you how to do that. So once you're there, you're going to want to go to your tube facets. People call it differently, I don't really care how you call it, but you want to put that on 10, so it should be a circle, like that. Once you're there, you're going to go to your colors, or your swatches. You're going to go and make a brown color with the material being wood grain. And the size, you just leave it 100. Once you're there, you can fly and go down farther so you can have a better look on the ground. So we're going to make a little kind of trunk area to this. We're just going to go not that far up, like I say about that, and then we're going to go smaller. Not too small, but not too big. I say about this is pretty good. This is a good size. Then once that, you're gonna go to your tube height, your tube radius, and you're gonna go down to 0.08. So it should be this small now, just so you have a less grip to have. Then you're gonna go up again. If this looks a bit weird, that's perfectly okay. You can do 2++. It's a method on going into your maker pen and pressing edit, and once you press edit, you click on the tube, and then it shows you all the individual joints in the tube. So if I want to make this, wrong piece, I want to make this one a little bit taller, I can simply do that with 2++. Let me try that again. There we go. I can do that, or I can also scale tube as well. I can make it smaller, bigger. It's really up to you on how you want it. But so far, I find my tree pretty well. I like how it is. I might make this a little bit smaller though. Once that, you go out of 2++ mode, and then you're gonna go up again and make. Try to keep it straight for now, but it's not that bad. We can use 2++ mode here as well by going on our maker pen, clicking edit, then clicking on our tube, and we can bring it up to how tall you want it. If you want your tree to be this tall, you can make it this tall, but don't forget to scale it down a little bit. It's too much. There we go. That looks better. So once after that, I'm gonna make some stems growing out. So I'm gonna clone one over here, use 2++, then delete the two bottom, this part here, I'm gonna delete that. Then I'm gonna select the bottom joint and the top joint. And then once I do that, I should see a little grayish purple box that says options. I'm gonna click that and then press insert point. Once I insert a point, there will be a point inserted within the middle of those two joints. After that, I'm going to bring it in. Then I'm going to go on manipulate, and then manipulate this piece to what I want it to do. So I want it to be over here and be with the other. I'm going to make it more I don't want it to be flat, so I'm going to probably make it like push it up a bit. Make this piece go up to here. Oops. You can also work with this, the middle piece as well. You can push it like back a little bit, or or it's whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Then once I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna clone this piece again. I'm gonna clone it from the middle so it stays where it is. It's just cloned. So once that, I'm going to add another joint that is somewhat within this. So there's going to be two trunks, two little branches. Probably going to have one over here, or the one facing the opposite way. Back to the big one, or the top one up here. I'm going to fix it quickly because you can see it rotating. I don't want that. So fix that. From here, I'm going to mirror clone this piece. Mirror cloning is when you are on the clone and you select the piece you want to clone, and there's this little piece separate. So since I want to clone it this way, there's going to be a blue arrow right here, or it's wherever you are. It's going to be a blue arrow, and there's going to be another one that has two arrows pointing into the middle with a wall, which is mirror clone. So I do that, I'll clone it and face the opposite way. But I don't want it to be a direct copy though, so I'm gonna change it a little bit, make it look different. Probably make this one start from up here. Let me start growing from up there. I mean down there, sorry. Then keep it like that, or if I want to go back into 2++, I can add another joint in those. So I'm gonna select this joint right here. I'm gonna select this joint up here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, options, then insert joint or point. Once I'm there, I'm gonna go back to manipulate. I might want to push this one a bit forward, push this backwards, make it look a little bit crooked. Then I'm probably gonna clone another piece, or since I want to do something else, I want to probably make it a bit taller, so it's not short. This looks a bit short for a tree. I'm sitting down, so it makes it look shorter, or a bit taller for me, sorry. I'm going to do 2++ again, insert a joint for the middle piece. Alright, so I'm going to take the middle part of my tree, I'm going to make it a bit taller, like I say. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount, right, a little bit. Then after that, I'm going to get out of 2++ mode. I'm going to select these three branches. I'm just going to clone them up, so I don't have to make another one. Oops, a little bit too tall. Let me bring it down a bit. Yeah, like that. Then I'm going to use manipulate. Once I'm in manipulate, I'm going to grab this branch right here. Just going to move it down so it doesn't look odd for the tree. So once I move it down, I'm going to move the other ones down too, just so it doesn't look odd. That's a little bit more normal. So for this one, I'll just probably move it to here. Yeah, that looks fine. And for this one, I'll just move it down as well. I don't want to do that. I might make this one face out like that one right there. But we don't want one branch for just every tree, right? We want it to be more than just one. So let's make it... let me just add this one. Those little branches look pretty well done already. So once I'm here, I'm like, alright, that's it. I like how it looks. I think it's pretty good for how it is right now. Then I'm gonna add more detail to it so it doesn't just look like one single piece of, well, not single piece, just one material of wood. We don't want that because it'll kind of not pop out that much. So what we're going to do, we're going to go under Maker Pen and press select. Then we're going to select every piece, but there's a way to make it faster, alright? So the way to make it faster is by selecting one piece, but instead of just pressing it, you hold down on your trigger. Then it'll pop up like a whole select ball. And then you can just go around to all the pieces you want. Be like, alright, I selected them all. What you're gonna do after is you're gonna just bring it up to here. Get it kind of separate. We don't want it to be touching the other tree. what we're going to do is we're going to just recolor it. This is a simple and easy process, so I'm probably going to recolor it to like a tarpic kind of texture like this, a little darker, or I could do, let's see, gravel, and I could make it like a brown texture. It's already colored it. I can just hold my trigger with the recolor and then just go over every single piece of tube and get that all. Alright, got them. Alright, so once I'm done with that, I'll do the same thing. Go on my select, hold the button, select every piece, and I'm just gonna push it down. Just push it down like that. Doesn't matter if they're lined up fully or not. We're just gonna manipulate the one we just made. So since we just made this, we're gonna manipulate it to have it look like this. Something like that, yeah. Doesn't have to be full or anything. You just want that kind of look like it's within. I'll probably, if I want to make this tree look a bit older, I'll probably add, what is it? I'll probably add some, what's the name? Moss. I'll probably add some moss to it just to make it a little bit older. Be like, this tree's been old, it's been out for a while, it's been here before I was even here probably, you know? That'd be nice. This texture part is not that hard. It's just how you want it to look, you know? It's not, just don't try and force it, just let it be. So like once you find a nice spot, let go of your maker pen, and then do it again. Sometimes I can just do that, or I can do this. Part I missed. Alright, once you're done with that, you're going to want to make leaves. So make your leaves. We're going to go back to the tube, and we're going to go to 0.25 for the tube radius, and two facets are going to be the same. Exactly the same. It's going to be 10. But we're going to go back into our swatches, and we're going to use let's see what looks like a kind of like a leaf. Actually, we're going to use this. This is Peridot, and the texture is carpet. And it's sized up to 4.93%. So we're going to use that. So once we have it, we're gonna go and just, it's not that hard. Usually people do it different ways. There's multiple ways of doing it. I've seen people do it like this kind of way, where they just do this. It can ink spam, or not ink spam, sorry, tube spam, and it will take up an ink, like massive amount of ink. So I don't like that. The way I do it is I just go like this. I go to this side, back, this side, back, up, back, down, back, like this, and I kind of ball like this, you know. But if I don't like it, I'll use manipulate, and then just manipulate the areas that I don't like. We'll see the parts that just stick out the most, like the corners like these. Since I push them in, they look all nice and cozy together. They look like they're about to have a nice slumber party, you know. Once I get that, I'm like, alright, I feel good with this, I like how it looks, I'm gonna size it up a bit. This is sometimes how you wanna, this is when you want to just scale, like you wanna size yourself. Scale up. It's different on, if you're wondering how to do that, it's different for multiple platforms. So once you got it, you're just gonna go up here. I say this is good. I'm gonna come over to here as well. Come on it to here. Once we get that, that's basically all the leaves, but there's another way to add more detail even to the leaves, but that'll take way much more ink that we don't want. And it's just using a different color green. Personally, I'm gonna add the texture, so I might just like cut it to once I'm done with the tree here. So I'm gonna cut it, and then we'll be back once I'm done adding textures to this tree. Okay, so once you're done with adding some detail to the tree, it's really like it's optional. You can add detail to the tree or not. I personally like to add detail, makes it look nicer, but I also don't like to sometimes because it takes a lot of ink. But sometimes simpler is nicer, you know? So that's basically it of the tree so far. You can use this in like a nice little park map. I'll make a park, you know? Alright. So yeah, that's basically it for the tree. It's done for now. Once you are done with like adding detail, you can take your maker pen out once again. Go on your maker pen, go to where it says configure. Once you press configure, you're going to click on your tree and open up your maker pen from there. So once you're there, you're going to see where it says shape settings, and then go to physics mode and click on it and put on decor or decoration. Doing that will save more ink. You can walk through it, so sometimes it'll be good for like a background use, so people can't like really walk through and be like, hey, why can't I walk through a tree? So that'll be good, and it'll save you more ink in a map too. So yeah, this is a good way of making a tree and saving some ink with it. And that's basically it. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Yeah, Rec Room.